Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
Another gorgeous Monday night in San Diego. The Padres back home after a 7-day stint on the road. The first of 3 games between the Padres and the Braves. Freddie Freeman, the young first baseman, coming in with that .379 average, 3 home runs in just the last 14 games. Last year, the Padres took 3 out of 7, and they'll look for their 30th win of the year this evening. Great night for baseball here at Petco Park. The Braves and the Padres. Braves, one of the hottest teams in all of baseball. Should be a great set, and it's great to have you with us. Once again, alongside Mark Grant, I'm Mike Pomeranz in for Dick Enberg. The team certainly has its hands full. We know, and we have talked about the potent offense of the Atlanta Braves. But first, some transaction news to tell you about. Tough night at the office for Jed Jerko and the Padres last night. Jed now placed on a 15-day disabled list with a groin injury. Logan Forsythe, in the meantime, comes back for his first start of 2013.
Jed Jerko, you want to get the injury right? You don't want to have him go out there and then injure it more. So Logan Forsythe, hey, it's been a long time waiting. 60-day DAL for Logan Forsythe. We saw him last year. The 26-year-old hit .273. He hit 6 out of the ballpark. So what kind of player is Logan Forsythe? He'll bring some electricity to the infield. Not saying that Jed Jerko doesn't, but Logan Forsythe, he can run. He's got great range to his right and to his left. And you talk about a kid, Mike, who's got great baseball instinct. It's Logan Forsythe. He's got pop in his bat. He can hit for some average and some big hits last year as well. Hopefully that carries over from last year, and hopefully he gets mobbed at home plate like this right here, coming up with some big hits in this series against the Braves.
Well, you certainly never want to see anybody get hurt, but if there is any fortuitous timing, it's that Logan Forsythe is at least able to get back on the field with Jed Jerko going down. Pitching matchup today, Jason Marquis on the mound for the Padres, 7-2, and Mark, he has won 6 of his last 8 decisions.
Looking for 7 in a row? Are you kidding me? Well, why? Because he's making good pitches when he really needs to. The 3.73 ERA. It's going to be a challenge today for Jason Marquis. Why? Because this Atlanta Brave team really likes to hit the ball in the ballpark. We've documented that. So if he keeps it in the ballpark, they swing and miss a lot. This could work in Jason Marquis' favor if he's got the slider working and the sinker, either a strikeout or a ground ball for Marquis.
Maybe a little chip on his shoulder, too, in that he was a former first-round pick for the Braves. Now, for Atlanta, Julio Teheran will go, and we see at the bottom of your screen there just how well he's been throwing recently.
Last time out, he almost threw a no-hitter. I mean, how much better can you do that? 8 solid innings, only 1 hit. He struck out 11. A lot of swings and misses against the 22-year-old Julio Teheran. This guy's got electric stuff. He's got a loose arm. One thing I can guess from the Padre hitters tonight, it's going to be a challenge, yes, but hunt the fastball. Look for that fastball, and then avoid that breaking stuff to avoid the strikeout.
Teheran against Marquis, game 1 of this 3-game set between the Atlanta Braves and the San Diego Padres. And when we come back, we're going to have much more for you on the return of Logan Forsythe. We'll get you down to the field and hear from Kelly Crow.
week. The Padres and the Braves game 1 of a 3-game set. Bud Black's club will be without Jed Jerko, who was placed on the 15-day DL with a right groin strain. Logan Forsythe starting the night at second base, but poor Jed puts on his clothes today, gets ready, comes out for BP, says he just doesn't know what to do with himself. I was able to catch up with him earlier about the situation.
Little strained groin is, I think, is what the prognosis is. So hopefully, I think the timetable is about 7 to 10 days. So hopefully, it responds well to the treatment, and just kind of, it's frustrating. I was playing pretty well. You know, the team's playing well. It's definitely going to be tough, and I'm going to be pretty bored just sitting around here. But you know, I'll just got to put the time in. Hopefully, it gets better.
You know, that's the only thing I had in mind, was to get back up here and help these guys. It's going to be a bunch of different roles, but, you know, it's whatever to do to, you know, help us keep winning.
Logan Forsythe said he finally felt like that plantar fasciitis was disappearing a week ago. He's fully healthy. He says it feels great, and he will have his hands full as the Upton brothers are in town tonight for game 1 of this 3-game set. Coming up, it will be Mike Pomeranz and Mark Grant with the call. We'll see you right back after the break.
Welcome to Monday Night Baseball right here, Fox Sports San Diego. Mark Grant, Mike Pomeranz in for you today. Jason Marquis on the mound for the Padres. Andrelton Simmons will lead things off for Atlanta. Simmons at 259, 5 home runs, 22 runs driven in. And for Jason Marquis, he has won 6 of his last 8 decisions.
You know, there are easy tests and then there are tough tests, right? Jason Marquis, he's been tested the last 6, 7, 8 starts. He's done quite well. Well, this test against the Atlanta Brave team, we talked about it earlier. See how he does tonight.
Logan Forsythe under it, but it'll be Will Venable to make the catch. First out of the ball game. Let's take a look at the Braves lineup this evening. It is brought to you by Hyundai. Following Simmons, it'll be Jason Hayward, who is coming up late right now. Justin Upton over from Arizona will hit in the 3rd slot. Then Freddie Freeman, Brian McCann, Dan Ugla, Chris Johnson, B.J. Upton, and their pitcher, Julio Teheran. Jason Hayward, see the number there, hitting at 200. Missed a large part of the season with an appendectomy.
Manager Freddie Gonzalez trying to steer his troops as they start this road trip. or continue this road trip, I should say, from up from Los Angeles. Third season as the skipper of the Braves, taking over for a pretty good manager by the name of Bobby Cox.
Heard of him? That's quite a legacy left behind by Cox. "11 straight division titles for Atlanta, from 1995 to 2005. This is their latest crop of players they feel really going to make a difference.
A couple of free agents sprinkled in here and there. Some homegrown Braves coming up through the system, drafted and developed in their system.
Hayward rips this one to Amarista. 2 down.
Well, let's check out the scouting report for right-hander veteran Jason Marquis, who came up in the Braves system. Put Mo on the pass list. Mo, momentum. He's got a good string going, trying to work for his 7th consecutive win, and don't rotate over the rubber. This is a mechanical issue that we can talk about while Jason is out there. If he kind of goes into his leg kick and rotates a little bit too much past the rubber, like maybe twisting towards second base, that's when he feels he runs into trouble.
Justin Upton, 247, 14 home runs. That leads the team. 29 runs driven in. He's cooled off a bit, though. And as soon as I say that, lines a pitch to Carlos Quentin in left field. So Justin Upton aboard with a base hit. Let's go ahead and check out the Padres defense this evening, brought to you by Aramco Mortgage. Aside from Carlos and Alexi, it'll be Will Venable there in right. Round the horn, Chase Headley back after a day off. Everett Cabrera at shortstop. Logan Forsythe making his 2013 big league debut. Kyle Blanks at first. Yasmani Grandal behind the plate, and Jason Marquis, your pitcher.
Hey, 4th fewest errors in the National League, the Padres, and I tell you what, Logan Forsythe has really got to be excited to be out there. Hey, the ball will find you.
Hey, test them early. No harm, no foul. 1 hit for the Braves. Padres coming up. It's brought to you by Jack in the Box. The Chipotle Chicken Club combo's back for a limited time at Jack in the Box. And by Petco, where the healthy pets go. By Farmers Insurance. Contact your local agent at 888-96-FARMERS. And by the Experience Buick Lease. It is a new lease on luxury. Padres back home after 7 on the road against the Dodgers and the Rockies. 1-3, lost 4. Welcoming the confines of Petco Park. As we take a look at your starting lineup for San Diego, brought to you by Toyota. Everett Cabrera, red hot right now, leading off. Then Alexi Amarista, Chase Headley, Carlos Quentin, Kyle Blanks, Will Venable, Logan Forsythe, Yasmani Grandal, and the pitcher, Jason Marquis.
And on the hill for the Braves, Julio Teheran. Electric stuff, loose arm action, and hunt the heater. What I mean by that, if early in the count in this ball game, if you get the fastball, go to Hackett. He's got his fastball about 87 to 95. He'll two-seam it, he'll four-seam it. Also, Mike, he throws a slider, a curveball, and a changeup. He is a good one, only 22 years old, 6'2", 175. That's a keeper.
Freddie Gonzalez and the Braves going to have some questions to answer when Brandon Beachy comes back from that elbow injury. He'll give him 6 starters. Boy, that's a problem any club would love to have. Everett Cabrera to lead things off. 298, 4 home runs. Major league leader in stolen bases and red hot in Colorado. 9 for 20. A couple of runs scored, 3 doubles. And not enough pine tar.
You know what? It's weird. The first pitch of the ball game, I was looking at the radar gun, expecting the fastball. It was registered at 86. That last pitch, 85. Did he just start off Everett Cabrera with 2 changeups to start the game? May have been. Way out in front, fooled by that one. And his grips might be a little worn.
Got to get him replaced.
Might need a little bit more stickum. And that's what will happen on the off-speed pitch. They'll start to, oh, come on, get to me. And all of a sudden they try to reach for it, and all of a sudden they lose the grip. And the bat goes flying.
Cabrera with 20 hits in the month of June. That leads Major League Baseball. And it's interesting to throw those changeups to open up a hitter like that when the old rule, right, is what are you changing off? Of course, it could have been his fastball and just
Mike, I think
you're
a good pitch. You might be right because his fastball ranges anywhere from 87 to 95. So looks like he kind of changes speeds on that. Good pickup.
You see Everett Cabrera and the work that he has done at the top of Buddy Black's lineup. We've been talking about it a while. As he gets some talk and consideration, perhaps as a backup at least.
Absolutely.
For the All-Star.
Yeah.
You bet. Bounces one to Dan Uggla. 1 down. Here's the Atlanta defense. Brought to you this evening by Hyundai. Behind Julio Teheran this evening, it'll be Justin Upton in left field, brother BJ in center, Jason Hayward in right, Chris Johnson in third, Andrelton Simmons the shortstop, Dan Uggla second base, Freddie Freeman, Brian McCann, and Julio Teheran. Alexi Amarista 260, 4 home runs. Got the start yesterday at third base. Chase Headley taking the day. Chase back in the lineup tonight. B.J. Upton first starts in, now back to the track. He'll play it a bit awkwardly off the wall. Amarista around second. He's going to make a bid for third. Going head first, but in easily. Alexi Amarista, a 1-out triple.
B.J. Upton was really fooled on that ball. I thought he had a bead on it and actually was going to catch this ball. It's good extension from Amarista. Okay, now the race is on. It's over his head. I'm thinking he's going to grab it. All of a sudden, that ball there, it looks like it almost hits him. Flash look, track. Did he look? You know what? He may have lost that ball. Just a guess, but by his body language, when he flashed look and then looked back again, he may have lost that ball just for a split second because that ball nearly hit him right in the noggin. When we looked at that one angle.
Yeah, he did look, like I said, he started in on the ball and then he clearly had misplayed it. Sky doesn't look all that tricky right now.
No.
So Alexi at third with his first triple of the year. And that'll bring up Chase Headley. Getting 252 from the left side this season.
Let's take a look at BJ. Flash look. He kind of even gave the where is it, didn't he? Kind of with his glove almost.
Looked like he was realized how uncomfortably close he was to the wall, perhaps.
Yes.
Didn't know what that carom would play like. 1 out, man on third.
Teheran is also a strike thrower when you look at his numbers. Take a look at Chase's numbers. Hopefully he heats up as the summer heats up. Hey, the Braves are giving him the run. A little pepper on the infield, and that run comes home. But Teran at 71 innings has only walked 15. He's going to be around the plate.
Got in there a bit on Chase. His last 8 starts, Teran. 4-2. 55 innings pitched, just the 8 walks. And that outing you'd mentioned at the open against Pittsburgh, where he was just outstanding. No into the 8th. And Maurice will score rather easily. Freeman over to Teran. First base umpire fielded Culbreth. That's in time. So the Padres are on the board, lead this one 1-0.
With the aid of that home plate, that ball just bouncing off like a super ball. And on contact, of course, Amarista comes around to score. Chase Headley will take that RBI and get his team on the board.
Number 19 on the year for Chase. Here's Carlos Quentin, 264, 7 home runs.
Teran, his last start, Mike, we talk about first pitch strikes all the time, versus Pittsburgh, 23 for 28 in the first pitch strike category. When he is strike one, hitters hit 211. When he falls behind ball one, hitters hit 348. So like Teran, like Jason Marquis, like anybody, it's all about getting strike one.
And interesting too, we talked about 75, roughly 75% of the time, big league hitter's going to take the first pitch anyway.
Right. There's that slider from Teran. And the 88 train waiting on deck.
Oh, he's been a wrecking crew.
Tell you what, you get Headley, Quentin, Blanks, hot, 3, 4, 5. That's top of the lineup is going to see some good pitches.
Well, it is good to see Carlos Quentin heat up. As I mentioned at the open, up 95 points in batting average the last 23 ball games, 5 home runs, and some sterling defense he turned in Colorado, Los Angeles.
See what Teran's doing here? Hard early, soft late breaking balls. There's another one. He got ahead with a fastball. Now he works the count full. He might throw him another slider right here.
Well, he's been unpredictable to this point.
But then again, maybe he won't. Threw him fastball and missed. See, McCann wanted that one down and away to link middle in. And that's right in the hot zone of Carlos Quentin. There's a happy customer.
There you go.
Teran shaking off.
Full count. This ball driven very well to right center field. Hayward up and both back. It'll be Hayward at the track for the final out of the inning. But Alexi Amarista gets it going for the Padres. Triple driven in by Chase Headley. Pods lead 1-0. Alexi Emery's the triple and a little RBI bounce out by Chase Headley. Here's Brian McCann, 6-time All-Star.
He's had a nice little career with the Atlanta Braves, Brian McCann.
Some shoulder injuries last couple of seasons have slowed him down, and now they've got themselves an issue there with the hot-hitting rookie Evan Gattis catching as well, trying to get him at bats. See Brian's numbers there in 26 games. Jason, the first round pick for the Braves in 1996, but against Atlanta, he's had his challenges. 9 starts, 3-5, ERA 7.69.
Well, I think, you know, you've talked to Jason Marquis before. He's all about just seeing the numbers and throwing to the glove. And I'm sure he knows the numbers against the Braves.
Yeah, I'm sure he's aware of them. And
yeah,
puts them in the back of his mind, but doesn't affect what he's doing for the night. Hey, fans, if you get a chance to celebrate Father's Day with your Padres, Sunday, June 16th, do not forget. Your Padres are going to face off against the Diamondbacks. 1:10. You can enjoy breakfast at the park before the game. You can play catch on the field after the game. So go ahead, try to take your pops out to the ball game. Sunday, June 16th. Get your tickets today, Padres.com. Or you can call 619-795-5555. And you hear that a lot. It's the fabric of the game, fathers and sons. A lot of us, our moms.
Yeah.
Picking up the slack sometimes. Any number of households. Great to come out to the ballpark. Mom, dad, anybody. Take a kid out to the game.
You know, I had a suggestion. Is take a look at Dan Uggla's numbers. You know, what a streaky hitter. I mean, last year, pretty much going through the same thing, and then just ended the year on fire. When the Padres play at home on Father's Day,
yep.
I made this suggestion a few years ago. They should have fathers across their jersey instead of Padres.
Padres, sure.
Good idea.
As good as any you've had.
Just a thought.
Better than microwave pants. Here's the 2-1. Talking about Dan Uggla. Ron and Alexis Fowler checking out the action. For Uggla, boy, of all the hitters perhaps who are feast or famine, Uggla is perhaps that personified. 193, 13 home runs, punches out very often, more times than any other hitter in the National League, and you see a couple other Braves right there, so they're not afraid. As a team, they lead baseball in that part.
You know the phrase we use quite a bit, Mike, 2-strike approach? Ain't going to happen with this team. I don't care what the count is. They are not going to shorten up. And that could work to the advantage of Jason Marquis. Expand the zone a little bit with the slider. Tried to make him bite there and missed. But Uggla, you know what? He can run into one many times. 5 consecutive seasons, 2007 to 2011. This kid hit 30 home runs or more. But right now, a little bit of a scuffle.
Had a couple of homers yesterday against the Dodgers. And like we mentioned, he's feast or famine. He'll punch out there for the first out of the inning.
That is a pitcher's pitch. That is one of the better sliders we've seen from Jason Marquis. Watch the glove of Grandal. Threads the needle. Oh, that ball, that catches a ball's width of the plate. That wasn't even off the plate a little bit. That caught all plate. Nice pitch. And what a better way after a walk to lead off an inning, right? You got that double play in order.
You giveth, you taketh away. Here's Chris Johnson. Johnson's numbers this season over 47 games. Acquired by the Braves along with Justin Upton from the Diamondbacks. Part of that Martin Prado deal. Well, Jason had it going on in his last start against the Dodgers in LA. Went 6 1/3. Just 2 earned runs, a couple of walks, 6 strikeouts. Took that no-hitter into the 6th inning.
He should have him 0-2 right here. He got squeezed on that first pitch.
There's Headley, the Forsythe, the Blanks, double play. And that's what Jason Marquis needs. He relies on the pitcher's best friend. He gets the rolling 2-ball here, and the Padres coming up.
Nothing here in the bottom of the second, and some good news for Padres fans. Before tonight's game, Houston Street threw a simulated game where he went through all of his pitches, did a little stretching, even some lunges after work to work out that calf, which is why he was placed on the 15-day DL 11 days ago. But Black said all of his pitches look good, especially his slider, and he said he's really close. He will pitch one more time Wednesday night in Lake Elsinore, but guys, certainly good news given the way the bullpen has been really taxed these last few games. So Houston Street close to coming back for the Padres.
Hey, thanks, Kelly. Nicely done. And how about Houston Street going full metal jacket on the simulated game? Jersey, right? Some guys go out in a T-shirt, maybe, you know, but he went full uni.
Going game ready.
Yeah.
That'd be great to have him back. She makes a very good point. The bullpen really getting to work, and as every team does when they go to Colorado.
Oh, exactly. And you know, with Houston, you know, there's nothing like pitching in a big league ball game. A simulated game, the adrenaline's not the same. So the more work he gets in to get prepared, the better.
Here's Kyle Blank, 7-game hitting streak on the line, over which time he's hit .407, 3 home runs. He was 7 for 15 in that Colorado series.
I think this kid's going to be a threat. I mean, we've talked about it many times, but he's healthy, and you know, just his presence at the plate, the hacks he takes, the way the ball jumps off his bat. I think pitchers are going to be a little tentative to really try to, you know, challenge this guy, and that'll work to his advantage because then he'll draw his walks, and then, you know, hopefully he hits mistakes in the strike zone. Let's see a breaking ball right here off the plate.
Tehran gets him there, though.
Fastball.
Now Tehran's been a little bit of a riddle in the early going here, throwing maybe fastballs and off-speed counts, and off-speed pitches and fastball counts.
Well, he's coachable because Brian McCann wanted that pitch up and away. He did exactly that.
Well, Venable, 224, 7 home runs. Bouncer to Tehran. 2 down. And here's a welcome sight. Talk about a fellow that garners the respect of the entire clubhouse. 26-year-old Logan Forsythe. Plantar fasciitis, foot problem. And this is his 2013 big league debut.
Hey, good numbers at the old Pueblo down in Tucson. 380 clip. Have you ever had plantar fasciitis?
I have not.
It hurts.
It takes a while.
No fun.
To recover, he said. He was surprised, he said, even how long it would take. You go back and forth with whether surgery is an option or whether you treat it other ways, perhaps with a medicine, maybe an injection of some type. But he's battled his way back. And he hammers this pitch from Tehran. Upton to look at it, and this ball is gone. Welcome back, Logan Forsythe.
Well, there are home runs, and then there are home runs. A 1-1 pitch. And you know what tells it all? I mean, look at the bench. Everybody up. Smiles on their faces. Giving Logan Forsythe high fives. Talk about putting a great swing on a pitch. Yeah, we talked about it in our pregame show. We talked about it in our open. He's got some serious pop. Hey, the foot can take a rest on that one, right?
Just a nice, easy stroll. I'll tell you what, for Buddy Black and the Padres, you never want to see anybody go down with Jed Jerko hurt. The timing of Logan's availability can't be overstated. Yasmani Grandal will line out to third for the final out of the inning, but Logan Forsythe greets Julio Tehran with a bomb. B.J. Upton can only look up at this one. Padres lead 2-0. In the Padre half of the second inning, put San Diego up 2-0. His first appearance in a big league uniform in 2013, his first at bat. Gives the Padres a 2-0 lead. Jason Marquis against B.J. Upton. Another one of the Feast or Famine brothers. B.J. 158 and a ton of strikeouts. As we welcome you back to Padres baseball. We're joined by the Padres president, Tom Garfinkel. It's good to see you.
How you doing, Mike?
Very well, thanks. Very well. You've been awfully busy.
Thank you. Yeah, we're always busy around here. We've got a lot of people working real hard. So it's been a good week. I think real proud of Josh Burns, Chad McDonald, Billy Gasparino, AJ, everybody just, with the draft process, really happy with the results.
That's good. I saw you had a bunch of good quality arms after your first 3 picks. Looked like you went offense, and you've got some great things I know lined up for the fans, some fantastic promotional ideas coming our way.
Yeah, I think that came from some of the bloggers, from some of the season ticket holders or members, and really Ron Fowler, Kevin O'Malley, Tom Seiler, our new ownership group, said, hey, we've been talking to a lot of fans, and one of the things we keep hearing is that our promo calendar is a little light, and we want to respond to that. We want to put some more into that. And we've added some exciting new promotions, I think, for the back half of the year. All kinds of different things, from a fedora on Retro Day where everybody's supposed to come out and dress like it's 1947 to flip-flops to Dollar Hot Dog Night on September 2nd. We're going to have Taco Tuesdays. Every Sunday is going to be Kids Day out in the park with big inflatables out there. And again, really, I think this was really ownership listening to fans saying, we want to do something and to respond to what they're asking for.
So Taco Tuesday is for guys like Sweeney and myself, and then the fedora giveaway goes without saying, right, Mark?
I love the fedora, Tom. It's a great look. It'll go with anything. You need, and I've said this all along, and I think you've agreed with me, every man, any women, child, that you need a hat in your closet.
At least one.
You need your go-to lid to protect yourself and also be stylish with the fedora. So nicely done.
Yeah, and in 1947, I mean, back in that day, everybody used to wear suits and ties to the party.
That's right. Everybody's got a little bit of fashion that they want to throw out there, and I think in Mark's case, the fedora is kind of the standard for Sweeney, myself, suspenders. It's the look we go with.
You go maybe bow tie, the fedora.
Thought about that.
1947. Get everybody out here wearing their ties and their fedora hats.
You like that?
And you mentioned Taco Tuesdays. This is awesome, by the way. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's a San Diego tradition. We're trying to do as many things San Diego here as we can. As we've added the Ballast Point Beer Garden and Hodad's Burgers and Phil's Barbecue, and we're going to have a new one, Bird Rock Coffee.
Really?
Famous San Diego coffee place we're going to be putting in. It's going to be in after the All-Star break. And we're trying to consistently add San Diego sort of type initiatives in the ballpark. And Taco Tuesdays is one of those, dollar tacos.
What do you got on the hot dog? Talk to me about the hot dog in September. What kind of deal can you give me early September?
Dollar hot dog nights.
Come on.
That's something we used to do back in the Jack at the Murph, and trying to bring that back a little bit.
Nice.
But again, and this is really in response. A lot of these ideas were the fans' ideas, and again, our ownership saying, hey, they asked, let's give it to them. So we would try to add some new fun promotions. But most importantly, I like the depth on the team. Seeing Forsyth come back is great, and it's too bad having Jed head down, but with that injury. But you bring up a guy like Forsyth from his injury, and he responds. So
absolutely,
it's a fun team to watch.
Yeah, fantastic. The degree of hustle that these guys just exude every time they get a chance to get on the field. Hey, before we let you go, though, Friday it'll be a big day out here. I know you're tipping the cap to that 1998 World Series team. Yeah,
we're going to have 15 players from that team out here that night, and we'll celebrate them on the field before the game. And have a little 1998 celebration.
Where were you in 1998?
1998,
tell us a little bit about Tom.
I lived in New York City.
Really? Yeah. In baseball? Out of baseball? Hoping to get into baseball? Because I know baseball is your favorite sport.
Hoping to get into baseball. I was about 29 years old living in New York City. It was an interesting time. Good time to be there.
Cheering for the Padres.
I wasn't a Yankee fan. I've never been a Yankee.
I got a question for your point. See the Jack Deck, which was very instrumental.
Yeah.
In your thoughts, I would love to do a game from out there.
We can make that happen.
Yeah.
You want to go out there?
Do the old number 7 on them?
You're not gonna like drink Jack though.
No.
Therein lies the rub.
No.
Therein lies the rub.
No, but I think that's a great addition, and we've talked about it many times before. But we just every time we look out there, people are having a great time. It's a great vantage point. Plenty of room out there.
What's been the feedback?
Yeah, and I think most importantly, I think what we've done with the fences have had the consequences that we hoped for, which, talking to many of the players, talking to former players, they've all said, look, the park plays more the way it's supposed to play now. And in fact, Trevor Hoffman and I talked about it. He loves the way the game's played in the park now. I talked to some of the hitters who said, yeah, definitely taking a different approach. I know if I get a hold of one now, it's going to go out. So their whole approach to the game is more consistent with what they do when they're on the road. And I think we've seen a lot more offense, and that's a good thing.
I think you made a good point. It keeps the Park from being one of the outliers. Nice play. Everett Cabrera will retire. Handleton Simmons, Atlanta unable to do anything there in the third. Tom, as always, great to see you. Looking forward to a lot of those fantastic promotional items.
Thanks, much. Appreciate it.
Everett Cabrera be on deck, but to end the Braves have the frame. Boy, what a nice play on the run. The backhand, the good plant, and then the cannon we're getting used to seeing.
Not only the offensive numbers this year for Everett Cabrera, but the glove, the leather. Get out and vote for our shortstop, Everett Cabrera. All-star voting, vote at Petco Park until June 17th or on MLB.com. Hey, there are guys. Vote for them.
It's the right thing to do. There are a couple of shortstops having very good years, but Everett's is right there with
You know what? You're right, Mike. A good crop of shortstops, and that's good for baseball.
Saw one in the last series, Troy Tulowitzki of Colorado, in the National League's better hitters. Here's Jason Marquis, former first-round pick of the Braves. Bouncer to back to Tehran. One down.
Who picked Forsythe and picked the stick?
I think it was Sweeney. And Sweeney had the first pick, didn't he?
Okay, that's all I need to know.
You can see him right there in the press box, hands over his head, making a scene. Humility and victory and defeat. Our friend, Mr. Sweeney. Everett Cabrera grounded to second his first time up in the first. Mentioned he has more hits than any player in baseball in the month of June with 20. And 76 hits overall, are 6th in the National League. And Mark Sweeney down there by the Padres dugout. I know you've got thoughts on Everett as we take a look at where hitters stand as far as most times on base. I want to get your thoughts on Logan Forsythe, your pick. Great to see him back in a Padres big league jersey.
Yeah, and I'd love to talk about Logan Forsythe, and the reason why, because it's all about injuries with him. When he's healthy, he makes a difference both defensively and offensively for this club. He's got strong hands at the plate, but it's all about opportunities for Logan Forsythe.
We talked about it last year, Mark Sweeney, how he is a Forsyth. What do you like about this swing from Logan?
Well, you take a look at that, just the rhythm, and he uses his lower half as good as they can, but the strong hands, and that comes into it because you can hear it off his bat. He's got a different sound off his bat, and he understands how to power the baseball, but it's all about consistency for Logan Forsyth.
And off the bat, 99.3 on that home run off the bat of Logan Forsyth.
And Everett Cabrera did go, according to home plate umpire Adrian Johnson. 2 down.
Good late slider from Tehran. He will expand the strike zone with 2 strikes and drop that slider to the right-handed hitter, left-handed hitter that is, down by that back foot. That's exactly what he did to Everett.
That'll bring up Alexi Amarista, who tripled and scored the Padres' first run in the first inning. And another fellow brings a lot of versatility to Buddy Black's lineup, along with Logan Forsyth. I know you and Mark Sweeney talking a lot about next man up.
Right.
And with Jed Jerko needing some time here with his groin injury, need a little bit more time perhaps for Alexi and now Logan.
And once again, when you talk about decisions for the Padres management, right? When you have all these players healthy, well, there's only 25 men on the roster, but it's a good problem to have.
One ball, 2 outs, and Amarista will lift this one to Simmons. And that'll do it for the Padres in their half of the third. Braves coming up in the fourth in a moment.
Insurance game plan. Well, let's break it down. Here's the plan. Blues brothers. Talk about the Upton brothers. Justin, BJ, keep them quiet. Give them the Blues in this series and keep the ball in the yard. This Atlanta Brave team, #1 in home runs in the National League. We've documented that. If Jason Markey can do just that, he should do just fine. We are farmers. Bump it up, bump, bump, bump.
There's Jason Hayward. They'll wrap this one to blanks. Flip it over to Jason Markey. First out of the inning. We're talking about keeping the ball in the yard, Mark. Justin Upton, 2011.
Upper basket.
Yeah. Very interesting, I think, to a lot of fans that the Diamondbacks were willing to deal him. His numbers in Arizona are still very good, but I think they thought just was not a good fit for either side.
Yep.
Wanted to make a change. And
That's a poke, ladies and gentlemen.
Russell was singled his first time up. Blanks has room. 2 down. But they do throw up threat after threat. They've got themselves a nice month of June working so far, do the Braves. 7-2 this month. They come into action tonight. 39 wins, 24 losses. Leading the National League East by 7.5 games over Washington, who is off this evening. Face Colorado tomorrow. Freddie Freeman.
You know, you try to find, I don't want to say negatives, but numbers on a team when they're doing so well, like the Braves. And one thing stuck out to me, Mike, on the road, their road record, 18-17, one game above 500. You know, a lot of teams will take that, but when you look at the Braves overall, that's the one area where they're not really thriving.
Right. 21-7 at home.
Mm-hmm.
And the Padres have been good at home, 16-14. And against clubs in the East, they're 6-4.
Yeah, there's an interesting stat. When this team hits a home run, at least one in a game, look at that record, 36-7. Without a homer, 3-17. It just goes right to our game plan.
You know, it's an equation that really has seemed to work for the organization. They get the power you're talking about. They've gotten good pitching. Mm-hmm. Currently, best earned run average in the National League in baseball, 3.14.
Well, Mark Sweeney down by the Padres dugout. What's your assessment of this Atlanta Braves squad?
Well, it's all about power, like you guys talked about, and it's a threat, and that's what happens. Yes, you have to deal with the strikeouts at times, and that's going to come. You're going to go through phases like that, but the Atlanta Braves are going up to the plate with a purpose. It's all about pitching for them, too, and always has been since Smoltz, Maddox, and Glavine.
You know, also this team had some serious pick-me-up as well. You talked about that earlier, Mike Pomerantz. When Jason Hayward was out for those 2 weeks with that appendectomy, you know, you got guys like Jordan Schaefer and Reed Johnson picking him up and doing a good job while Hayward is out of the lineup. So they, you know, from every aspect, you know, they can omit one player, and it seems like another player can pick that player up.
These are big players to replace. See Hayward there, second in the National League Rookie of the Year voting to Buster Posey back in 2010. And got high hopes for a lot of their young players, as do the Padres. It was interesting to hear Padre President Tom Garfinkel talking about the draft held just recently and the way the Padres went after some offense early, their first 3 picks, and then went back to pitching, which has been the strength at the lower levels of the minor league system, getting a bunch of righties. McCann drives this one to center. It'll send Amarista back to the track, and he's got a little bit of room. Enough real estate to hold it. Atlanta won't score. Padres and Chase Headley coming up.
Twitter poll, and here's the question tonight, fans. Other than Jed Jerko, which National League rookie impresses you the most? You can vote on Twitter by using the following hashtags: Evan Gattis, Braves; Ryu, Dodgers; Miller, Cardinals; Henderson, Brewers; Gregorius, D-backs. Use the hashtag. For example, hashtag Gattis Impress. So get on Twitter, give your thoughts, vote, and most importantly, thanks for playing. We'll be back with the results later in the game.
There's Evan Gattis. Oh, what an interesting story he is. A fellow who came out of high school in Dallas, really highly regarded. He's going to go to Texas A&M, play a little ball. Life took a hard left turn and ran into some personal challenges, rehabilitation, and toured the country, taking some odd jobs. A handful of years later, decided he wanted back in the game, and the scouts who took a look at him when he was a high school kid liked him again. Here's a ball hooking just foul for Chase Headley into the corner.
Talked about a kid who was digging deep and turning it around. Evan Gattis, Mark Sweeney. It's a story that's intriguing, and it's, you know, I know players, everybody has certain challenges in life, but this is a story after turning around a kid you kind of root for.
Yeah, you got to root for him, and also making the most of your opportunities, and I think you can talk about that. Ask Freddie Gonzalez before the game, and he just beamed about talking about the opportunity and him jumping on this. Having 3 catchers on your roster, that tells you they definitely need him around.
Hey, Mark, we're taking a look at Chase Headley, and we've talked about his struggles and his efforts to try to get back on track. Are you seeing some of the same issues that he'd been dealing with, or does he seem to be shoring up that swing a bit?
Well, I think, Mike, if you break it all down, he's taken some good swings, but those good swings have been foul balls. And when you go through some tough times, that's usually what's going to happen, and Chase has got to battle through those.
Yeah, we saw him snap that 0-for-18 streak, a hitless streak there in Los Angeles. Thought maybe he'd get something going into Colorado. He was 3 for 14 there. Swains, tell us what you think of this swing.
Well, you see him, his lower half is working. It's a good stroke, just out in front a little bit, and that's why you get that hooking action down the right field line. But Chase Headley is going to get it going, and hopefully he can carry this ball club like he did last year.
Well, Teron gets him there.
A little late on that fastball there, up and away. Set up away. Looked like he was trying to maybe even hook that ball a little bit from the side angle. Mark Sweeney, is that fair to say that?
Yeah, it's fair to say, and those are the things that's happening, but we're seeing a lot of 2-strike counts and pitchers counts, and you know what happens with that, Mark. In this league, they are very good at putting a lot of hitters away, and that's what's happening to Chase Headley.
Here's Carlos Quinton. He flied out to right to end the first. And he has really put together some solid numbers since making a few adjustments to his stance. Seeing things a little bit differently now, it appears.
Remember his first at bat, he hit the ball hard to right field, right center field. Teron was going hard early and then sliders late. So McCann set up inside here, fastball in.
Ball hit on the soft line and up and sliding in. He will make a play. So Carlos Quinton aboard with his first hit of the evening. And BJ actually got a pretty good read on that one as compared to the Amarista triple in the first, but couldn't get there, and Carlos is aboard.
Well, what I saw on that one, and really getting his hands through, and you know, one thing I noticed when Carlos Quinton became a Padre, I remember going online and looking at some of his at-bats. He was crushing the ball down and in, and that ball had a little two-seam action, kind of inside out that one, going the opposite way.
Hey, we're a long run, yeah. It's going to hit foul. As Kyle heads back to the box. And Jason Hayward makes his way back to right field. We'll take a look at our Wendy's. Now that's better. look at the evening. And for Kyle Blanks, the first 31 games, actually doing just fine. But when you take a look at the last 9, Mark, really a marked improvement.
As I look at those numbers, that's better.
That is better, Wendy's.
Quiet at the plate. Nice.
Had himself a hole and found it. Putting the move up 90 feet. Hayward with no choice but to just lob it back in. Kyle Blanks.
Mark Sweeney, we talk about being quiet at the plate. That's the one thing I noticed about Kyle Blanks. Not a lot of movement. Watch him just a stride, just throw the head. Hitting it in the hole on the right side. Toe tap. Nice quiet swing.
And I love that. And the point to your point, Mark, is understanding that he's controlling his head. When you're quiet at the plate, your vision is very good. And you see Kyle Blanks with that short swing. He is continuing to be consistent with his approach and taking what they give him. Nice swing right there by Kyle.
Had a great opportunity for the Padres to add on. Will Venable ground out in the second inning. He has 7 home runs on the year, 6 of them, though, here at Petco. Julio Teheran now up at 50 pitches in the bottom of the 4th inning. Chase Headley struck out to begin the 4th, and singles by Quinton and Blanks. First and second, 1 out.
A little backup slider, it looked like. Teheran really missed with location, but works to his advantage because Venable swings and misses. He's got to really protect 0-2. Heads up base runners for a ball in the dirt. Trying to waste one here, maybe.
91 away, and will lay off. Teheran told us before the game he tries to fashion his approach after Felix Hernandez, who we've seen there with the Mariners.
I can see that.
Mark Sweeney, as we take a look at young Teheran, just 22 years old, interesting that he seems, at least tonight, to feel comfortable throwing various pitches at various counts. He doesn't seem all that predictable.
Yeah, and I think Brian McCann has a lot to do with that. They talked to Freddie Gonzalez, the manager of the Braves. He likes to go with that veteran catcher behind the plate with the young 22-year-old.
Hey, by design again. He did that earlier in the game. McCann wanted the fastball up, exactly where he threw it.
And the reason for that, Mike and Mark, I think just taking the thinking out of the game for Teheran is very important. And he just wants to shake and say yes, and this is what I'm going to throw, and this is where I'm going to try to locate.
Keep it simple. So we take a look at the Saquon Vacation strikeout statistic. First 9 starts, 30 punch-outs. And Will Venable lays into this one. Jason Hayward takes a look. Home run! Will Venable, a 3-run shot. On the year now, and 7 of them here at Petco, and the Padres lead 5-0.
Looked like a breaky ball. Speeds up the bat of Will Venable, and he is all over this one. And it's so ironic because I was talking to some of the Braves announcers before the game, going over the Padre lineups. Will Venable's name came up, and you know what they said? He kills us. Next, well,
there you go.
He's keeping it alive.
Here's Logan Forsythe, who follows up his home run in the second with a sharp single to center here in the 4th. And for the Padres, that's 4 consecutive hits.
Hey, 1 on. After the home run from Venable, only 1 out. Keep it going. And Logan Forsythe fights this one off. plantar fasciitis, my eye.
Oh, what a way to come out of Tucson, Logan. Grip it and rip it.
Oh, he can fight off the fastball with the best of them.
He can fight off a smile, too, guys.
Hey, I like his aggressive approach, first pitch.
So do I. He feels very comfortable, and you can see the timing is definitely there with only 25 at-bats, but he feels comfortable at the plate.
You know, Mark, you make a good point, because in the clubhouse before the game, Logan was talking to the press, and that's exactly what he said. You know, I feel I've had enough at-bats in Tucson to where my timing is right. I feel good at the plate, and it's showing tonight.
Yeah, Mark, and I think exactly what you're trying to talk about. It's that timing at the plate, but also you need that intensity that the big leagues bring you, and I think Logan Forsythe is perfect with the intensity inside him, too.
Here's Yasmani Grandal, who lined out in the second, and Tehran holding Forsythe close.
Well, the only other time this year, guys, when Tehran has given up 5 runs or more, it was exactly 5 runs back on April 6th against the Cubs in 5 innings. 5 earned runs.
Good news, Padres. Ooh, close play, and they do get him. Fielder Culbreth says yes. And Mark Sweeney, you take a look at it. We know that Logan's had those foot problems, but it looks like Tehran just gets him leaning.
Yeah, that actually looked like a balk move to me, guys. You look at that front leg, and he buckled it before, and that's a balk move that they'll try to use. Quick feet, though.
You know who's good at that? I'm going way back like the 70s and 80s, but Bob Walk, pitcher with the Phillies and the Pirates, he used to use that balk move to where he'd go in the stretch and just buckle that front knee, with giving the runner the illusion like he's going to lift his leg, and then throw over to first base.
Never see him get caught for that?
Never.
Very tough.
Watch the front knee. Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I'm surprised they didn't pick up on that.
Good call, guys. Good call. So with 2 outs, now nobody on. As Logan talks it over with Cam Maven. Yasmani Grandal. Sure nice to see him catch fire. Struggling a little bit here. Hit 167, no home runs coming in. He'll go to right center. BJ up. Jason Hayward will give it a look. It'll be Upton for the 3rd out of the inning. But Will Venable just unloads for his 8th home run of the year. The Padres lead 5-0. Sequan Casino, real friendly, real close. By Joseph A. Bank.
We fit everyone. Visit josephabank.com. And by the Aramco Group. Purchase, refinance, reverse. 5-0 San Diego on a gorgeous Monday evening. The first of 3 games between the Atlanta Braves and the San Diego Padres. Braves leading the National League East. And the Padres coming off an exhausting series in Colorado. They took 2. Rockies took 2. Padres took 1 of 3 from the Dodgers. So 3-4 on the road trip. And the Padres were 3-4 in 7 games against Atlanta last year. Boy, an explosive bottom of the 4th for the Padres. Will Venable 3-run home run.
Tell you what, Jason Marquis got that sinker working, that shot put. It's probably what it feels like at times when it's on, right, Mark Sweeney? He's got that sinker and you hit it off the end of the bat. Not a good feeling.
Not a good feeling offensively from down here near the dugout. Looks like he's finishing his pitches tonight.
You know, he said he felt like he found that release point you guys talk about all the time in the last start in Los Angeles. We struck out 6 and 6 1/3, took that no-hitter into the 6th inning. He's carrying it over into tonight's start. Dan Ugglas struck out his first time up in the 2nd. And he strikes him out again.
Hey, we're going to go back to that balk move. Logan Forsythe got picked up, but here's what I want you to focus on, folks. That front knee right there. Watch that. Roll it, Robbie. See how he buckles it? And Logan Forsythe, you know, and Mark Sweeney's ran the bases. You know, you focus on the foot, you focus on that knee, and when you see that knee buckle, you have the assumption that he's going to lift his leg and go to the plate, right, Mark?
Yeah, and you can see Logan, he freezes first before he starts back, and you can see the momentum from the pitcher, but that's a balk move that you tend to not see, but you have to be quick with that. He has quick feet, guys.
They proved it there. I know sometimes you base runners will focus on the right-handed pitcher's right heel to see if it lifts, and that'll give you an indication he might be coming over to first. But Teheran with a good quick move. May have been a little outside the scope of legal, but fielding culprit, the first base umpire and crew chief, didn't catch it, so Logan Forsythe, after his 2nd hit of the game, picked off. But the Padres lead 5-0. Chris Johnson. Will Venable gives it a look.
Boy, much better feel for his pitches tonight for Jason Marquis here in the top of the 5th. Pounding the zone, good action on his sinker, slider, keeping the ball down. And when he's missing, he's not missing by much. And that's a good sign.
Johnson, a 276 hitter here in the big leagues. More than 2 years of service time. As we mentioned, he came over with Justin Upton. And trade with the Diamondbacks, except Martin Prado and company. Back to Arizona, and Johnson's aboard with a walk.
Well, one thing that Jason Marquis says, when he starts to swivel too much that way with his hips towards second base, that's pretty good right there. But when he says when this knee and his hips start to go that way too much, that's when he runs into trouble. He's over the rubber nicely and then working this way downhill, and that's why you see the good action on that sinker and that slider.
So Jason now has issued 3 walks along with 3 strikeouts, just the 1 hit. And B.J. Upton, one of the strikeout victims, in the 3rd. A single sharply to right field this time, and Johnson will move up 90 feet. 2nd hit of the game given up by Jason.
Hey, you know what I look at on that play, guys? Mark Sweeney can chime in, and Mike, of course. But when I look, focus on Logan Forsythe. Now, remember his injury. It was the plantar fasciitis in the foot, right? Baseball is a game of short spurts, quick spurts, right?
Right.
I mean, from 0 to 60 in 0.3 seconds, right? That's a good sign, is it not, for Logan? I mean, you're playing basketball on the balls of your feet. Baseball infielders, balls of your feet.
That ball gets away from Grandal as Terodich squared the bunt. So the Braves move up now, second and third. A wild pitch. Take another look at it.
He yanked a two-seamer.
Not much Yasmani could do with that.
And if you were to ask Jason, the mechanics are way out of whack on that one.
Here's Cabrera. His only play is the first, and he does get a hustling to run, and the Braves pick up their first run of the ball game. Chris Johnson will come across the score, 5-1.
And that's got to be. I'm sorry, Mike. That's got to be frustrating for Jason. That wild pitch. But you have to erase it, right? You got a 4-run lead still. He's hitting his spots. Don't let it affect him. 2 outs. Leave that runner at third base.
So with 2 outs, here's Andrelton Simmons, 0 for 2. Fly out and a ground out. They're not getting cheated there.
Yeah. Now, this kid's quite an athlete. We've talked about him before. Simmons from Curacao. Take a look. High slider, swings right over the top of it. Nearly goes right into the ground. In the amateur days, Simmons was a pitcher. You know who caught him in Curacao? Kenley Jansen.
Oh, really?
You know who his shortstop was?
I do not.
Didi Gregorius.
Really?
That's a heck of a team.
You know the language they speak in Curacao?
Papamiente.
That's correct.
Papamientu.
You, my friend, are a wealth of knowledge.
So quite a team. Quite the talent, those 3 players.
Thank you, Mr. Clavin. 1-1, 2 outs. Simmons to Cabrera. And that's the side, but the Braves pick up 1. Padres lead 5-1.
Thank you very much, Sammy.
Amarista in the first inning. A ball played by B.J. Upton into a triple. And then Chase Headley, this little roller, would drive him in. Padres up at that point 1-0. And then Logan Forsythe, his first at-bat in the big leagues of the season. He goes deep. Solo shot, 2-0. Will Venable in the bottom of the 4th, a 3-run bomb. For Will, that was his 8th home run of the season, his 7th here at Petco. Braves pick up 1
in the top half of the 5th, and that's where we stand. Padres lead this one 5-1. Julio Teheran, 22-year-old right-hander, still in there for the Braves. And here's Jason Marquis. 3 for 27 on the year is Jason, but 281 last year, 216 in his career.
Hey, he himself, he wants to get that one run back, right? That the Braves got in that half of the inning.
A lot of ball game left, but Jason's got to feel good about where he is right now, coming off that nice start in LA too. Won 6 times in his last 8 tries as Marquis.
You know, Jason and I were talking in the clubhouse before the game, and we were talking about his mechanics. And he had given me about 3-4 minutes of his time, right? And he's doing most of the talking. I said, hey, dude, I said, you know what? I want to let you go. You're pitching today. I want you to get in your routine. He goes, I don't have a routine. Guy's been around the block a few times, huh? He kind of rolled his eyes.
I hit, I grab my glove, I pitch. Lifts this one to Ugla. What a way.
Well, in between innings, I think Mark Sweeney has done a little detective work. And Mark, you got a report on Dave Roberts down there at first base?
Well, guys, we talked about the balk move, and Dave Roberts is the base running coach. He went inside, probably looked at some video, and Fielding Cobrath, the first base umpire, having a conversation and reminding him of that balk move, and take a look at it. It's on the scouting report, so sometimes they'll talk to him before the game, but just a reminder, and Dave Roberts. But take a look at that balk move.
Yep.
You understand why, and you just got to keep him and see what he had to say too, and credit Dave Roberts for doing that.
And you know, that was a perfect throw, because that throw from Teheran was right on the chest, right? You know, as Forsythe was diving in to apply the tag.
That's amazing how good your move gets once you balk and don't get caught.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Just throw it strike, and you get yourself an out. Here's Everett Cabrera, 0 for 2, strikeout and a ground out. Hey, look, you don't blame Teheran. If you're going to get the call, do it.
Ooh, the high strike.
You know, I see getting away with it Little League level or high school level where you only have 2 umpires, one behind you, between you and the bag. But
right.
Got umpires scattered all around the infield like fairy dust. You think they catch some of these things.
I thought it was pretty blatant also.
Seemed like it. Apparently not. You know, once you turn that knee in, you think that those are some of the items that the umpire would key on.
Right. Mark Sweeney, I got a question. When you were leading off first base, did you key on the heel, the knee? What was it that you particularly focused in on?
Yeah, I tried to look at the front side, but everything varied, and I relied a lot on Davey Lopes, and he's one of the best first base coaches I've ever had.
Johnson over to Freeman for the second out of the inning. Now, fans, tonight's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries, and, of course, aboard the ships at sea. They're watching all around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. And, of course, a huge welcome and a larger thank you.
Absolutely.
From all of us here at Fox for your service and putting yourselves in harm's way so that the rest of us can enjoy the freedoms that you provide.
So we hope you're all enjoying a big league ball game. Thank you for your service.
Here's Alexi. Tripled and scored in the first. Flied out in the third. Looks like she got her fedora before the giveaway.
Good looking lid. The SD and the fedora. It's very stylish. Do you own a lid?
I do.
What kind?
I go more baseball cap, visor maybe, than a fedora. But I think Tom Garfinkel's ideas are to catch fire. He's got some good ones. That fedora giveaway, July 12th on a Friday. Also fireworks day that day. I know you're all about the fedora. Ball lifted to center field. B.J. Upton will wave off Jason Hayward. Padres out there half of the fifth, but they lead this one 5-1. Another nice evening. He has really done a fantastic job handling the Braves to this point. 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, allowing just the 2 hits and a run, and doing it himself as well.
And the double play came into play in that second inning. Remember, there's a leadoff walk, and that's a stressful situation for any pitcher, starter or reliever. Cruise through the third, a walk in the fourth, and that 1 run, moving the runners up, and then an infield ground ball to put the Braves on the board. But it looks like he is in a groove. His mechanics are in sync. He says it's all about the feel. And I said, well, for instance, do you start your hands before, when you get to the top of your leg kick, do you start your hands and then your body goes forward? He goes, I don't even think about that. It's just all a feel. He goes, I can't tell you when my hand comes out. I can't tell you when my leg starts forward. It's just all a feel in my mind.
But he can tell you when it's not doing what it's supposed to.
Exactly.
And Jason Hayward, 0 for 2 this evening.
Really, it's Shaka Khan. I feel for you. I think I love you.
Please don't rock me. Just makes me uncomfortable. So for Hayward, after that appendectomy, hit 261. Overall on the year comes in at 200. Wrap this one over to Forsythe. He's gone for the first out.
Well, there's a former Padre pitcher out there who's watching this big league ball game, was a teammate of Jason Marquis, and says, I taught him everything he knows. I want to give a shout out to former right-hander of the Padres and many other teams, all-around great guy Woody Williams, claims that he taught Jason Marquis everything he knows. And he can swing the stick a little bit too.
Say, probably about hitting. Bounced sharply past blank, so Justin Upton will wheel into second base. There's a throw, but uncontested by and large. Upton in there sliding. So with 1 out, Justin, a double. Just the 3rd hit allowed by Marquis.
I tell you what, you look at that swing, you look at that hit, and Kyle Blank's playing way off the bag at first base. According to the scouting reports, he's the type of hitter who pulls the ball and doesn't go that way in between the first baseman and the bag with his 9th. That looked like it was just throwing the hands all upper body, just hitting that ball where it was pitched.
Oh, with 1 out then, with Upton on second base. Here's Freddie Freeman. 0 for 1, a ground out in the first and a walk.
You know, that was a first pitch swinging double for Upton. Now that swing there looked like a two-strike approach, didn't it?
Yeah.
He kind of just protected and
let it travel.
Let it travel and took it the other way. Looked like a splitter.
And Freeman is dangerous. Runners in scoring position. Only Carlos Beltran has a better average than does Freeman. 469. He leads the team with 43 RBIs. It's a big opportunity for Jason Marquis. Get himself out of trouble. He's got a 4-run cushion.
Now that's a great way to enjoy a big league ball game at the yard. You got the earbuds in, listen to the radio, listen to the stock report, and getting a foul ball.
Perfect. Perfect evening. First to 3 for the Padres against the Braves.
Hey, big key here is Jason Marquis keeping that runner at second base. Freddie Freeman, yes, he is a threat.
Padres won't see Atlanta again until mid-September, the 13th, 14th, and 15th in Atlanta. Freeman really letting that ball travel.
That was kind of like an emergency swing, wasn't it?
Yep.
He kind of recognized it. Hey, it was close enough. I got a hack at it and just kind of poked at it. Jason Marquis trying to keep the ball down and away to Freddie Freeman. Hey, keep that ball in front of the runner, right? A ground ball to third base keeps Upton at second base.
Nice pitch. He gets Freeman. Big strikeout with a man hanging out at second base. 2 down.
Well, Freddie Freeman, he's having one heck of a year. Going to this game, hit .315. He is a tough out. You see the sequence here. What is he trying to do? Keep the ball away. 2 seamers, tries to backdoor slider there. There's another emergency swing. And how does he finish him off? That is a good split finger fastball from Jason Marquis. Change up, split, call it what you want. I call it a punchy to Freddie Freeman.
Toughest hitter in their lineup right now. Well done for Jason Marquis. And here's Brian McCann. And Jason will take it himself. That's how it's done. So he leads Justin Upton at second on the double. The Padres coming up in the 6th.
It's time for the results of the AT&T Twitter poll. This is a good one. The question was, other than Jed Jerko, which NL rookie impresses you the most? Hey, running away with it. A lot of Bravo fans out there. Evan Gattis at 65%. Coming in second place is Shelby Miller. And the rest of the field, a couple of 5% and 0% for Henderson. Thanks for playing. Hey, quarterback of the Chargers, Phillip Rivers, enjoying a big league ball game.
I recognize him for a second there with the ball cap on.
Rocking the Lacoste t-shirt. Love the Gator.
Got to appreciate the pace of this game compared to his line of work. Chase Headley to lead off the Padre half of the 6th inning. Odds up 5-1.
Boy, Chase just missing that fastball, you know?
Be frustrating. Mark Sweeney was mentioning it down in the dugout before. They're just off. Just off. And when you're talking about those milliseconds, he says, does Mark Sweeney, that's the difference, right? Between fouling it off,
sure,
hammering it into the gap, perhaps. And he tops this one to Freeman, taking himself one down. Up to Rod, keeps plugging away. National League West action, just Diamondbacks and Dodgers. Dodgers lead this one 3-1. In the 5th inning, Diamondbacks leading the West. Coming in action tonight, Arizona 35-28. And they will be in town after the Braves series here, 3 games, off day. And in come the Diamondbacks. Standings, Giants, Colorado, bunched up tightly. It's been that way for the last few weeks.
And this is an important month because 17 games within the division in the month of June, right?
Really a chance to eat up some ground when the Diamondbacks come in. Quentin to lift this one to Upton and left. Let's check in with Kelly Kroll. More on Kyle Blanks. Kelly?
Well, guys, we've been talking all night about health, and today Buddy Black said that has been the key to this tear that Kyle Blanks has been on as of late. He is finally healthy. He's seeing a lot of at-bats and consistent at-bats, and he says, although it's a small sample size, you're seeing this guy put it all together at the plate. He's making strong contact, and how about, 7 of 15 against Colorado? 2 home runs, not too shabby.
Well, there's more where that came from, Kelly. I think Kyle Blanks has displayed obviously that power, but we saw it earlier in the game with that swing. He took the ball the opposite way for that single to right field. So if he can do that, he's going to be very successful. And staying healthy, of course, which we've mentioned many times.
Remember, we were looking at him in spring training and taking a look at his numbers. And even on the farm, he was averaging a home run every 20 or so at bats. Like you said, just not able to stay healthy, but fingers crossed he's able to do it this year. Kyle with a strikeout in the 2nd, single was scored on the Will Venable 3-run home run in the 4th. Lifts this one over to Freddie Freeman. The 3rd out of the inning. So the Padres go in order and lead this one 5-1.
In the top of the 7th inning, I'm Laura McKeeman alongside Mark Sweeney, and we're getting you ready for Padres Live, the post-game show. How about a welcome back for Logan Forsythe, the home run in the 2nd inning? What did you think about that swing?
You bet, Laura, and you can see the drive with the leg lower half. And welcome back, Logan Forsythe, and that's exactly how you want to come back, starting off your first at-bat with a home run.
All right, when we come back on Padres Live, the post-game show, we'll talk more about the starting pitcher, Jason Marquis. You can see him right there. We'll also hear from Buddy Black. Mike, Mark?
Yeah, that was a great swing. I mean, really getting that backside into it and letting it fly.
Well, Logan
throwing that shillelagh.
2 for 2. And you know he's going to pick it. It's great to see him back here. Dan Uglow for 2 tonight. Couple of punch outs. Jason Marquis has 4. And Dan Uglow owns 2 of them.
Well, if he can keep him quiet, right?
It's interesting too. You don't see too many middle infielders with that mentality at the plate, where they're willing just to concede the strikeouts so frequently. But since 2006, Uglow has more home runs than any second baseman in the big leagues.
I mentioned it earlier. 5 consecutive seasons, 07 to 11, 30 plus.
Three balls, 1 strike. Walked him. Fans, go ahead and try to get your summer started with a bang if you can. Saturday, June 15th, Padres Summer Sky Blast. This is the biggest fireworks extravaganza after your Padres play the Diamondbacks. 7:10 start. And it's coming up this Saturday, the 15th of June. So hurry and get your Summer Sky Blast tickets today. You can check out the website, Padres.com, or you can just call 619-795-5555. Hammer Chase Headley, and he'll easily double off Dan Uglow. But Chris Johnson smokes it. Chase Headley, no problem catching the flip. I don't know if that's how Jason Marquis would have drawn it up, but it counts the same.
Hey, it's a double play. Way to roll that double play, Jason Marquis. One swift move, thrown across the diamond, and just like that, for the Braves, that's a big leg hang with him.
Uglow took 2 steps and knew it was over. Nothing doing. Jason Marquis on a whale of a ball game against his old team, the Atlanta Braves. B.J. Upton, 1 for 2. Justin Upton, his brother, with a couple of hits. B.J. with 1, and that's the offense by and large. B.J. will go down the line, will rattle around the corner, pull in easily with a double.
You know, sure, that ball was scalded. It was a 2-seamer down and in, but see, that's the key. It was down and in. That's a tough ball to elevate. If that's elevated in the zone, it's a different story. Upton's probably taking it out of the yard. He wanted it away. It's down and in. You can see the top spin, the top hand on that one. And with 2 outs, now the Braves need a 2-out hit.
And down 5-1 with B.J. Upton at second base. Freddie Gonzalez is going to make a change, so Julio Teheran's night is over, and Jordan Schaefer come off the bench to pinch hit. 44 games, hitting almost 300. Well, if there were 2 guys on this Atlanta ball club who came into tonight cold, it was the Upton brothers. And they have the combined 4 hits in the ball game for Atlanta.
But they're keeping Jason Marquis is keeping everybody else quiet, right?
Yep.
Which is great. So you can close the book in Tehran.
Schaefer can do nothing with that Jason Marquis off base. So the ground ball helping him out. Padres still lead by 4. Padres baseball, and it's brought to you by Petco, where the healthy pets go, and by Mr. Mossy's continuing Memorial Day sales event. Visit Mossy.com. And by White House Down, in theaters June 28th. Check out your Subway in-game box score. The Padres lead this one 5-1, game 1 of 3 against the Braves. And the crooked numbers belong to Logan Forsythe. Logan Forsythe alone, but Will Venable contributing with that 3-run home run. And the long ball has been a great blessing to the Padres tonight. Home run by Forsythe, 3-run shot by Venable. So look at it in the 4th inning. Front of the jack deck. Well, he loves hitting here. 8 home runs now on the year for Venable. 7 of them here at Petco as that same swing just drives a rocket into right center, and he will be in sliding with a double. He tested the arm of Jason Hayward. Looked like it might be close. It was, but Will Venable leads off with a double.
Well, another ball hit hard on the sweet spot. He goes down and gets it, gets extended, and then the race is on. Oh, that's a good sound. Over the head of Ugla. And the play's right in front of him. He's got to turn it on. Head first slide for his 5th double for Will Venable. Swinging the bat extremely well here in game 1 of the series. That ball was smoked.
Oh, he's been swinging it really well tonight, as has Logan Forsythe. He was 2 for 2. He had the home run we told you about there in the 2nd inning. Single in the 4th. First game back for the Padres after opening the year on the disabled list with that plantar fasciitis in the right foot. First time up, comes in the 2nd inning, Mark, and boom.
Got to pitch up. And, you know, that's a pitch that Logan Forsythe is going to crush. He doesn't miss too many mistakes.
This will be his first time facing Corey Guerin.
See what Guerin's trying to do? Pop him inside. He's got that funky delivery, low 3/4 arm delivery. Fastball, slider, change. Fastball about 90, 93-ish. Top out about 93. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres. Michael?
I got a special guest tomorrow, buddy. Who's going to be up here with us?
Hey, the Hall of Famer, Tony Gwynn. Love it. Can't wait to see old number 19.
San Diego State Club had a nice year this year.
Yes, they did.
Won the Mountain West. So he'll be with us tomorrow. And through the series, here to honor that 1998 team on Friday. Don't forget that.
Plenty of Tony Gwynn jerseys in attendance every game here at Petco Park, honoring the great Hall of Famer.
Here's Yasmani Grandal with 2 on. And Guerin in a little bit of trouble.
Is that being redundant, the great Hall of Famer? I say great because of the human being, and I say Hall of Famer because of the player. So is it correct?
Well, by that definition, from what we'd heard about, say, Ty Cobb. What'd you call him?
Well put.
Hall of Famer? Great Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer. You talking about Ty Cobb?
Yeah.
I didn't know Ty Cobb was. I mean,
No,
I came into the league and then he was retiring, so I never got a chance to meet him.
From all reports and accounts, and
not a good catch.
Heck of a ball player.
Yeah. So I should have said.
I think great Hall of Famer.
Anxious to see the great guy, comma, and Hall of Famer Tony Gwynn.
Either way, you're spot on accurate. He'll be here tomorrow. Yasmani Grandal with 2 on. and nobody out. Padre half of the 7th inning. Corey Garrett in on relief of Julio Teheran, as you see Tim Snoffer and Bert Smith getting loose in the Padre pen.
It'd be nice for the Padres to get that one run back that the Braves scored in the 5th.
Ball bounced sharply up the middle. It'll get past Simmons, and around the score is Venable, and Yasmani Grandal picks up his 4th RBI of the season. Padres lead this one 6-1.
And just playing pepper up the center of the diamond. Off the end of the bat. Garrett falling off towards the first base side. Diving is Simmons. Great job by Logan Forsythe. You know what? When healthy, Logan Forsythe, probably one of the fastest guys on the team.
He can run.
Yes, he can.
Everybody watching that foot didn't seem to show any ill effects of that. Jason Marquis. For 2 tonight. Ground out, pop out. 5 RBIs tonight for the Padres in the 6 through 8 innings.
That's some kind of nice. Bottom of the order.
Yeah, Will Venable, Logan Forsythe, Yasmani Grandal, and Jason will roll what looks to be a 2-ball for Atlanta, and it's exactly what Braves will do, but they will concede the run. And Logan Forsythe comes in for the 2nd run of the inning. Now 7-1 San Diego.
Well, no RBI for Jason Marquis, but he will gladly go back to the dugout and slap some high fives. Oh, before that, he's going to talk to Dave Roberts. But he's adding on now 7-1.
Helped himself out a little bit.
Yeah.
Didn't have too much of a cushion against a team that can go deep as well as Atlanta can. The Padres taking out their series frustrations, perhaps, after splitting 4 games. Hard-fought series in Colorado. Taking 2, leaving 2, and swinging well tonight. Padres scoring 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 3 in the 4th, and so far 2 here in the 7th. Logan Forsythe with that home run in the 2nd. Walked and scored just now in the 7th. Everett Cabrera. 10-game hitting streak. Still needs a hit here as he'll go down on strikes, but the Padres pick up 2 and lead by 6.
Is hit deep down the left field line. It might be, and it is number 50 for Greg Ball.
that was a bomb from Greg Vaughn. And it's all part of a look back at what was a wonderful year in Padres history, 1998. We're going to mark that on Friday. Special 1-hour pregame show. Hope you'll join us at 6 o'clock for that.
You know, Greg Vaughn was stuck on number 49 for quite a while. That swing that you just saw in Copper Square in Arizona was his last at-bat of the 98 season, of the regular season, squaring up number 50 for Greg Vaughn before they went into the playoffs. That's a, hey, 1998, 98 wins.
Great season. Mark Sweeney part of that team. And Tony Gwynn's going to be here for that. Mel Proctor, who you heard making that call, going to be in the booth calling the game. Again, that's this Friday. And it all starts at 6 o'clock with a special 1-hour pregame show. Nice ball game going here tonight. Game 1 of 3 between the Padres and the Braves. Jason Marquis twirling a gem. He leads 7-1. Top of the 8th inning behind 3-0 to Andrelton Simmons. Braves shortstop. 0 for 3 on the night.
You see Jason snatch at that ball back from Grandal. He's upset at something. Going 3-0. Looking at that count, looking at the score, you know he's got to be upset himself. He's saying, come on, let's go. Shake yourself. Got to throw some strikes. There you go. Throw it there again. Now, what are you going to do?
2 starts in a row. The sinker slider has been very sharp. Jason struck out 4, has walked 3, allowed just 4 hits. Nice backhand play. Chase Headley across the diamond gets Simmons by a couple of steps. 1 away.
Hey, nice backhand by the Gold Glover. It's a 3-2 slider. Short hop. That ball kind of checked back up a little bit towards Chase Headley. And firing a strike across to Kyle Blanks. Flashing the gold. Watch him kind of reach back a little bit. That ball kind of checked up.
I think maybe his efforts might be underappreciated when you realize when you're going through some struggles at the plate.
Oh, absolutely.
That leather around. And
that's one thing that Chase is not going to do. He's not going to let the wood affect that leather out there playing defense.
Pro's pro.
Yep.
The Gold Glove last year. Here's Jason Hayward. Also hitless tonight. Hits this ball well. Venable gives it a look. He has to stare up at it, and that'll be a home run for Jason Hayward to corner the Jackdeck. Chorus of boos raining down on the Braves right field.
He wanted it down and in on contact, down the middle. Boy, what a pretty swing from Jason Hayward. And when you're up 7-1, those are the home runs. If you're going to give them home runs,
solo shot.
That's what you want, right? It's like a breaking ball that was just kind of flat. 0-1 slider.
Yeah, I've heard you and Mark Sweeney talk about that all the time. Solo shots. Especially with a margin like this.
Sure.
Here's Justin Upton. He has 2 of the 5 Brave hits tonight.
Hey, Mike, we've heard about what would you do for a Klondike bar? What would you do for a big league baseball? Right to the shrubbery. And he doesn't even get it. Now that's a big league hang with him.
I want to see that again. That was major league effort.
This guy goes straight in, head first.
Maybe a bad read, maybe a bad route.
Look at this guy. Comes out of nowhere. Not even close.
Take 2 branches to the eye. Call me in the morning. Wow. That was the non-play of the day. That makes a heck of an effort. One, I don't know.
Head first, right into the bush.
There he is. Oh, wear it, my friend. Wear it with pride. Another bouncer to Headley. 2 down. So 2 grounders to Chase Headley. Sandwich a solo shot, Jason Hayward.
Hey, it's a good sign. That last pitch 102, right? Good action, getting the grounder.
Freddie Freeman hitless in 2 trips tonight. '23-year-old first baseman. Leading the team in RBIs with 43. Comes in hitting .315. Another tough out. Jason Marquis is strong again tonight. 6-game winning streak for Jason. 2 no decisions in his last 8 starts.
Oh, backdoor slider, nicely done. Pitching backwards right there to Freddie Freeman. 2-0, fastball count, and he pulls the string. Backdoor on the corner for a called strike.
5-run cushion.
There's the best pitching coach in Major League Baseball, Darren Balsley.
Can't argue it. You know, the real truth serum in that is when you ask the other coaches and staffs and visiting clubs and scouts. They have tremendous respect for him.
You know the homework that he does before each series and every night, going over hitters and video, and
takes no off.
It's unbelievable the amount of work that he and the other coaches do. Jason really upset with himself on that last pitch.
So Freeman aboard with a walk, and that'll bring out Buddy Black and a motion to the pen. Nice night for Jason Marquis. Jason will pitch into the 8th inning, get a couple of outs, and turn the ball over to Tommy Lane. Star of the game. Who else can you go with? Yeah, Logan's had a nice night, so has Will Venable, but Jason Marquis gets it tonight. 7 2/3, 5 hits, couple of runs. He's responsible for one man left on base here in the 8th. 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. Made some nice defensive plays himself. Got some good defense, as he always does, behind him. Jason Marquis, the Carl's Jr. star of the game. He leads this one with 2 outs in the 8th inning. And he leads 7-2. Tommy Lane will pick up the slack and face Brian McCann.
Well, Jason Marquis, first of all, did one heck of a job. Not good numbers against these Braves. He made the adjustment. 3-5, a 7.69 ERA going into this game. So he'll turn it over to Tommy Lane. Inherits 1 runner. Got some breathing room. Nicely done, Jason Marquis.
Talking it over with another former Brave, Mark Kotze. Kotze playing for the Braves in 2008. And Jason, as you mentioned, the first round pick of the Braves in '96, 4 seasons there. Got one against your old mates.
Is Kotze talking old school pitching days at Cal State Fullerton? Maybe giving Marquis some nuggets?
He was a closer for them, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Look out.
Hope that fan gets the ball.
He's got to make that play.
That'll shake you up.
Come on, Dad. You should have brought your glove. I want that ball. What do you expect me to do? You try get in front of that one. He's saying.
You should trade in that Braves hat for a Padres hat, and we'll give you a baseball. Tommy Lane strikes out Brian McCann. The Braves pick up 1, and there's the play of the night. Padres lead 7-2.
Here in the bottom of the 8th, and of course a big draft week for the Padres last week, and one guy in particular, bullpen coach Willie Blair, has to be so excited as his son Taylor was drafted in the 35th round by the Padres. He said today, when I said, hey, congratulations, smiling from ear to ear, he goes, he was so excited. Willie, his son, of course, Taylor, had signed at Eastern Kentucky University. He thinks that's probably the route he'll go. He gets to play both the outfield and pitch. But what a week. You talk about just getting that call, being drafted, a motivational moment, I'm sure, for Taylor. And you couldn't be a more proud papa right now, Willie Blair, I'm sure.
Hey, good for him. Willie Blair is sharing that feeling with a lot of former big leaguers this season. Roger Clemens' son drafted. Likely not going to sign, probably go to Texas, we're told.
Andy Pettit's son.
Right.
It was documented in the UT this morning. Craig Biggio's son.
Biggio. Cavan is his son. the bloodlines. Lexi Amarista, triple and a run scored in the first inning. That would get the Padres jump started. 7-2, bottom of the 8th. Corey Guerin is the Braves pitcher on in relief of Julio Teheran. The Padres were in Los Angeles before they went to Colorado and saw the rookie Yasiel Puig up close and personal. Guerin gave up a grand slam to Puig. The Braves were in LA before coming here to San Diego. Amarista lift this one to left field. Justin Upton, one down. Look for another good pitching matchup when we see you tomorrow at 6:30. It's going to be the veteran Tim Hudson, 4-5 with an ERA just under 4.5. Go up against big fireball Andrew Kashner, 4-3 with a 3.68. Kashner against Hudson tomorrow, game 2 of this 3-game set. Hope to see you at 6:30 for Padres Live, the pregame show.
Play the Braves tomorrow. You know what that means. Bad news for the Braves. Social media Tuesday. Megan O'Leary will be here.
She's working on some really fun topics. Hope everybody get home and gets a chance to take part in that. Your first baseball game, the memories of that. Some pictures hopefully you'll send in. We'll try to get them on the broadcast. Of course, on the website. Social Media Tuesday. Here's Chase Headley with one out.
See that fastball there, number 4 on your pitch tracks, brought to you by my good friends, Southland Technology. Middle in, that's usually what hitters are looking for, especially on the fastball. And Chase fouled it off. I'm wondering as a hitter, because I had no clue on hitting, if like they kind of have those pitches in their sleep to where it's right there and they either swing through it or foul it back and miss it and wake up and think, I should have crushed that pitch.
You think it's a lot like your approach as a pitcher? I mean, if you throw a pitch and you know you blew it, you give up a big hit, you got to have that ability
Which
to forget.
happens all the time, but go ahead.
Please. Look, you had time in the big leagues and a lot of it. But do you think it's anything like that, just having that ability to forget and shake it off, move ahead?
It's hard to forget as far as after you're done playing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Because I still have recurring dreams about, seriously, like, can't find my glove, can't find my stirrups, and I've got to start. I've got to go out to the mound and start.
Mark, to be honest, that could run a lot deeper. We may just not have the time to go into as to why you keep having
I'm serious,
issues.
though. That's a recurring dream. And then also sometimes like a line shot right up the body, you flinch.
Wake up in a flinch.
Yeah.
Do you really? No, you're kidding.
And I run over to the bathroom like I'm covering first. Get over
Flush
there.
right into the door, right? I don't buy any of that. I think
You don't have to.
You don't see be any of the worse for wear. Are those stories true?
Yes. The recurring dreams as far as not finding a piece of equipment and the line drives back at you. Absolutely. I swear to you.
You talk to other players, they have the same?
A lot of them do.
Should be a support group for former major leaguers. Our Mark Grant and I can't shake it off.
How about you? You played? Seriously.
Yeah, but I was so bad that there's nothing I want to remember in any way, shape, or form. I had no high points.
It all can't be erased from a hard drive. You got to.
Oh, it can, my friend. Hey, look out! Ugla will throw out Quinton to end the 8th. Padres with a 5-run lead. Top of the 9th coming up. Great job, Bill, Craig, and Robbie in the truck.
The best.
Editors, you'll find none finer. Great job, guys. Shot of the game, still that fellow who went into the shrubs.
Gotta love it. Christian Norby goes into left field. He'll always be diving for you defensively. It is a double switch. Tim Stauffer will now toe the slab and try to get the last 3 outs here for the Braves in the top of the ninth. So Stauffer will hit in the cleanup spot, Quentin spot, and Christian Norby in the number 9 spot.
Hopefully, they will not grab bats. Top of the 9th inning. Padres lead by 5. Take a look at Tim Stauffer's numbers. Dan Uggla, 0 for 2, a couple of punch outs and a walk tonight. So he's off the schneid with a sharp single to Amarista. Rather rude greeting for Tim Stauffer. Quick reminder, too, Laura McKean, Mark Sweeney are standing by for Padres Live, the post-game show, immediately following us in our final out in the evening. Got a lot to talk about. Logan Forsythe, his big return, the home run, the single tonight. Good defense. A power surge for the Padres. As Chris Johnson will single sharply. Will Venable in right. We'll also talk about Jason Marquis' fine evening. You'll hear from the manager, Muddy Black. It's immediately following the last out tonight. Darren Balsley gets on the phone, and Tim Stauffer greeted with 2 hits.
Yeah, the Braves swinging early. 2 pitches, 2 hits, 2 base runners.
Well, Tim doesn't walk a lot of guys. They know that.
Well, it looks like Luke Gregerson on the shelf tonight. He's on the left. Clayton Richard wearing the hoodie, hoping for a Padre victory. I think first pitch breaking ball here after 2 swings early in the count.
Single and a double.
Or do you challenge him with a fastball? You're on the hill. What are you throwing?
If I had your arm, I'd go fastball.
Okay, threw a curveball and missed.
He doesn't have your arm. He's got a good one. Low 90s heater. Look, B.J. Upton, the big RBI man. He's been ice cold, but he's got to be leery. Drive this one to right field. Venable back to the track, twisting. Nice catch up against the wall. Uggla will tag, move over to third. Johnson will hold it first, so the Braves have runners at the corners and 1 down.
Outer half of the plate. And once again, being aggressive as Will Venable feels track under his feet. Pulls it in for the out. Still double play in order. First and third.
Braves will set up a pinch hitter. And a rookie, Evan Gattis. Coming in tonight, the bench for Atlanta. 1966, 288. 5 pinch hit home runs as you see Gattis' numbers on the season. Is dangerous. 5 hits in 7 pinch hit at bats. 3 of them home runs. 8 pinch hit RBIs. Eddie Gonzalez says he's been trying to find him at bats, and he's found one here in the ninth.
How about the approach from Gaddis? A couple of things. No batting gloves. Going old school. Secondly, his setup in the plate. And no sleeves either. He's going straight, the forearms, the no batting gloves. And watch his setup. It's like look at the stance. He's gripping that bat and he's got one thing in mind. Straight 16-inch softball in Chicago.
Scout assigned him, said he's the strongest hands he has ever seen. He's been scouting for 46 years.
Wow.
It's like a cartoonish batting stance.
Looking at him right there, I know he's got darker hair, but it kind of looks like, not the batting stance, but little Bob Horner, former Bravo. Of course, he had, oh my.
Yeah, Gaddis lays into this one. Wow. 3-run shot, and just like this, the hot rookie in baseball comes off the bench and pulls the Braves within a couple. A no-doubter to left field, and that'll bring out Buddy Black.
Slider down the middle, and Gaddis has got one thing in mind. Wow.
You know what? I am never bringing up statistics for opposing power hitters.
Duly noted.
Here's Dale Thayer, back in a flash. Off the bench, pinch hit, 3-run home run for Atlanta with 1 out in the 9th inning off Tim Stauffer, and it'll bring in Dale Thayer.
Well, a frustrating outing for Tim Stauffer. Only 8 pitches in this 9th inning, as Dale Thayer will now try to get the last 2 outs. Bases empty.
Penn's been working.
Yeah, this is one of the things that Buddy didn't want to do, in a perfect world. 7-2. You get Tim Stauffer out there. You have him get an inning of work, shut him down. And now you got to get another arm loose and out there. And with the way this bullpen has been taxed, right, with the extra inning games and the road trip.
You're right. Trying to keep Luke Gregerson from having to work tonight. Got a little bit of good news, but it's on the way in the form of Houston Street, hopefully working his way back. But until then, it's going to be Luke and Stauf and Dale Thayer and the gang all trying to contribute. Nail this one down. Padres still lead 7-5. Andrelton Simmons hitless in 4 trips tonight. That's how the Braves have made their mark this season as they lead the National League East. They are masters of the long ball and the strikeout. Amarista. 2 down.
Well, last time out there for Dale was yesterday in Colorado, an inning, a hit, no runs for the hard-throwing right-hander. Great numbers for Dale. You know, I know Dale came in here with no runners on base, but it's worth noting the inherited runners / scored stat.
Right.
He's inherited 17 runners, only 1 has scored. Just thought I'd throw that out.
Oh, he's been lights out.
Even though he's been started,
tough.
you know, he came out there with nobody on base.
Yeah, but it gets a little stressful out there for you guys. There's Jason Hayward. He homered in the 8th. And he hits this ball a ton to center field. Amarista will give it a chase and a look, and this ball is gone again. Second home run in the inning for the Braves. Second of the night for Jason Hayward. And the Padres now lead by just 1. Two-out top shelf drive here, Mark.
You know, when you have a team that leads in home runs and they strike out a lot, you know, they're free swingers. We know that. They've got pop in that swing as well. The bottom line is these Brave hitters are not going to miss many mistakes. You look at the home runs this inning, hanging slider from Tim Stauffer, home run. That fastball elevated, Jason Hayward, home run. This is unbelievable.
Here's Justin Upton. A single and a double tonight. Darren Balsley and company not going to let this one slip away. Crowd getting behind Dale Thayer. They want the punch out here. Preserve this 1-run lead. Here's the 1-2.
You know why you got, you know, you score 7 runs against this Braves team, you're doing something. Their team ERA, #1 in the National League at 3.14. You got to hold on to this one.
Dale tries to get him chasing something off the plate, but Upton holds off.
Outfield playing no doubles, very deep in the outfield. The only thing over their head, well,
Deuce is wild. And he rings him up. Dale Thayer punches out Justin Upton looking and hangs on. The Padres do. They'll win this one 7-6. Padres Live coming up next on a great effort by Dale Thayer at the end. One more look at it. Wonderful job as it got a little bit dicey toward the end as the Braves would pick up 4. Once again, the final tonight, 7-6. Padres take game 1 of this 3-game set. Laura McKeeman tells us what's coming up on the post-game show. Laura?
Well, Mike, we've got an exciting one coming your way. We'll break down Logan Forsythe's return and, of course, the Padres' power surge. We'll hear from Bud Black and the starter, Jason Marquis. He pitched into the 8th inning. It's all next on Padres Live.